1, 2, 2.
Okay, let's see if we get it right this time. So it looks like it's a little loud. So it was just cutting out. So what I did is I had to kill OBS and reboot it, start it again, restart the stream. But it looks like it's working now. Let's confirm. Yeah, great. I think that was OBS. So actually, I have to. It's a new stream, right? Fun times, technology, right? Oh. It seems like it's working because I'm watching myself on the thing. Okay, and I see the meter. Before I noticed that the meter was going up, and then went to 0 even if I was talking, and then the meter went up and then went down. So now it seems to be working. We had a little bit of a crash and burn, and then I had to redo the stream again. So hopefully the people who were on that stream realized and came back to this one. It's good. Thank you for giving me, telling me, because I can't tell if it, the sound. Oh, I got thumbs up and hearts. So I didn't even start yet. Thank you. But I think we're good. Yay! That is so frustrating. Computers are frustrating. Technology. But let me know if other thing I'm wondering about levels. I think the levels are a little hot because I'm almost in the red, looking all the way across the room at the thing. I'm gonna lower the level just a little bit. I'd rather have it too low than be too hot and start distorting. Then I think we're ready to rock and roll. Good thing I checked. I would have done a whole 2-hour show and then realized it wasn't coming through. That would have been wonderful. Because once you're starting, you're not really watching the meters, and seeing if things are going through. So. If it sounds right, just feel free to comment, just so I know that I'm not singing to nothingness. Pick time. All right. Okay. We'll play it by ear. I think we're on track. One thing I've learned with OBS is just for no reason, if you leave it open for a while and come back later, you really have to restart it from scratch. That's what I'm learning, because OBS, you'll be working, it'll be working fine. You go get a bite, you come back an hour later, 2 hours later, and the sound just doesn't come through. Doesn't want to give you sound. So you close it down and reopen it. So it gets glitchy like that. So restarting it usually fixes it. So that's good. Learning OBS. And I also changed the lighting a little bit and the settings in the camera. I did a different picture profile in the camera to get get the colors to be a little more vibrant. So let me know. The resolution still isn't dialed in because I'm missing a capture card, but the colors I think should be a little more colorful. What do we do? Okay, I'd like to start with this one. So, here on last week, well, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit. It's a good high energy song to kind of get things going. And I know the words, so that's a plus. And we might have a new original popping up, and maybe even there's a song that I learned, a Black Sabbath song I learned. I'm not 100% with the guitar and the vocal, but maybe I'll do it anyway, just for fun. I have the vocal nailed, kind of, and I kind of know the guitar part. But playing them together, well, at least there's a track. Anyway, let's try this. Let's go. Let's go for it. 1, 2. I still see the meter going, so I think we're good. Yay. Ready to rock. dust before I start to decompose. Looking in my rearview mirror, looking in my rearview mirror, I could see it disappear. I can make it this up here, have no fear. I like letters playing with pain and music is my own thing. Here's my aeroplane. The sound of sweet and sour gin and music is my aeroplane. Here's my aeroplane. There's a straight with pain. That mother's always straight with pain. Sitting in my kitchen, here you go. I'm turning you to dust again. My melancholy baby, the star of Mazima, push your force inside of me. I'm overcoming our gravity. I'm overcoming gravity. It's easy when you're sad to be. It's easy when you're sad, sad like me. I like players playing with pain and music is my own thing. Here's my aeroplane. The sound of sweet and sour gin and music is my own thing. Here's my aeroplane. It's like with pain. Just one note can make me choke one up in my thing. One note from the song she wrote in my leg. And just one note cut my throat. One note that's not a lie. And just one note could cut my throat. One note could make me die. I love that fight with pain and music is my own thing. Here's my aeroplane. A sour, sweet and sour gin and music is my own thing. Here's my aeroplane. It's like with pain. Different bass play. Chili Peppers. I always like that song. It was a little more of a rockin' tune for them, and it's a little more of a fun vocal, I think, than some of the other stuff. Although I like the other stuff too. They have a lot of big hits, and a lot of some of my original stuff is compared to them, you know. And I'll do one of those right now, so you can hear what we're talking about. I don't know why. Out of the blue, sometimes I do a southern accent or a British accent. I don't know why. I was watching Spinal Tap the other day. If you haven't seen it, it's classic. What are we doing? Oh, original songs. We're gonna do. So this one, gonna do. What can we say about gonna do? It's like an FU kind of song. Like I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like just you know. So let's just listen to the words. And if you know, well, anyway, how's this one go? Okay. So many more people don't mean nothing to me. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, whatever I want to do. Yes, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I wanna do, and I got my flaps on my face. I'm being damn disgrace, and I want to, really want to. I'll grab that spotlight and get ready to ignite anytime that I want to, and I want to. I got all of my pride and my destiny. I gotta do what I got to make it happen for me. Haven't got any time and energy. And the people's opinion me. I'm gonna do want to do whatever I wanna do. Oh yes, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I wanna do, and I'm gonna rest down my face and be an disgrace, and I want to, really want to. I'll grab that spotlight and get ready to ignite anytime that I want to, and I want to. So I'll never back down or compromise. I never wanna come into the fool with my imagination. Give myself actualization. So I got a plan. No, I got it where I want it, 'cause you know I'm the man. And you forgetting in my way, you're gonna breathe with that. You're gonna stop because I will not let. Gonna do whatever I want to do, whatever I wanna do. Oh yes, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I wanna do. Wow, that's a wah. A wah can be addictive. I gotta tweak that wah a little bit, but fun tune. Probably shouldn't even mention this, but I just had a big chicken pilaf maybe an hour before singing, which is not a good idea to have a big meal. So right in the middle of that second chorus, I had to really burp. It was like, so I kind of skipped out a couple of words if you're wondering what the heck what's going on. I still got this big thing of dust in my throat, but I'm singing through it. Championing, so what's going on, right? Since we're in the mood of funky, let's just keep rolling. Since I'm going doing this one. Oh, you know what? This one is here. Let's do this one. This one we've never done on a live show, and I'm trying to add like about one new live tune a week till we get like to maybe 9 originals in a show, and then we're gonna take that out once the COVID is gone, or at least the COVID is manageable, and we can go out and see shows. Hold on, put the trio or quartet or whatever together, and we'll play those same songs live. And you guys, by then, you'll be dying to see it live because just the energy level will be off the charts. Never did this one live, so hopefully. I did this one live like years ago, when it came out. This is off the second record. Not Afraid to Bleed is the second record. Dave Blair is the first record. Got my pretty face. I look so much better on the album covers than I do in person. I don't know. Professional photography. These over here. Okay. We're rocking and rolling. Happy Memorial Day, people. Celebration to the people we got to. All the memorial people that we need to give honor to. Don't forget the reason for the season. It's not just barbecues. So this one, this is called Matter of Time. It's kind of don't know. There's a few songs that influence this one. Another song with lyrics that are kind of having an attitude, like just like, hey, I'm, whatever, just cool. These are fun songs to do, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Melissa Etheridge, like the way I do. Kind of the same attitude and similar kind of chordish type thing, but the chords are completely different. I always love this chord here. And you hear it in different songs, but basically it's kind of like a C major, but then you got the B in here, which is an 11 or 4 or whatever you want, and another E, which is like a 7. So it gives it this cool, it's not, instead of doing boring, it's like, so it's kind of interesting. And the lyrics are kind of fun. So anyway, let's see if we could do this. I'm just trying to get over this sniffles. I'm getting a little allergic today. Well. Wrong song. We did that one already. Here we go. Encore. Here we go. up. First time, that's not bad. I gotta smooth out the chorus a little bit. But, you know, it's come together. Come together, right over me. I'm not gonna do that one. I should learn it though. Since we're doing, you know what? You guys want to hear like, wait, let me see what we got going on the Facebook streaming here. Let me find. Let me get to. I'm still here. Don't worry. I didn't go. I didn't leave. I'm still see my hand. I just want to see if this. Let's get the stream. Make sure it's working. And we're not singing into nothingness. And then. Okay. I think it's working. So, you know what? Let's do the hit song. Well, Red Flags. Let's do the Red Flags. And then you learn a Black Sabbath song. Andrew requested it, but if I don't see Andrew on, Andrew, if you're here, make sure you comment. Say, I want to hear my Black Sabbath song. If not, I don't know. I may skip it until I learn it better. Phase 90. Script the logo for your guitar players out there. People are on the old live stream wondering what the heck happened. The old for those who didn't, the first live stream kind of crashed and burned, and we had to start a new one because there was technical difficulties. So if you missed it, well, they can always catch this in a rerun. Let's try this. Shit. dust is getting my throat, but you know what? Yeah. Right. You know what? We do it for fun. Or, you know what? Something different. I'll get that swishy off. But, base 90. Huh. What are we doing? Okay. How about something? We haven't done this one on the stream, but people seem to like this one. Some Bad Company, Bad Co. Maybe we'll do the Black Sabbath. What are we doing? What was the song? Oh. Let's try this one. As if I wrote the chorus. Shit. Luckily for tracks. How's that go? Well, I mean, I'll pick up the chords as I go. Do I even have it? I don't have it. Damn. Okay. I gotta put it into the computer here. So, okay, we'll do something else. Okay, that forces us to do, okay. What the heck is it? Okay, the heck with it. We're gonna do something crazy. This is something completely different. Let's see how badly, because I just kind of learned it. Show, but let's if not, shit, I don't even have an extra cable down here, but well, let's just go. We'll just go. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches and like masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields the body is burning, sorcerer of dreams he's burning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed mind. Oh Lord, yeah. darkness will start rolling as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. I gotta get the words better. Humans have the power, and that God has struck the hour, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah. Come on, my third verse. Ending just like the record. I just learned that this week. The funny thing is, I never even listened to the track. I mean, I listened to like the beginning of the track. I kind of learned the song off the record, and I just, as we're getting to the end, I'm like, how the heck does the track end? Because the record kind of does that, you know, because it goes like. There's that thing, which is basically a tape effect. It kind of speeds up the recording of the tape. And like how, you know, live they don't do it that way. I don't know, I forget how they end it live, but apparently that's how the, which is cool, fun. Anyway, aside from me kind of wigging out on the words of the third verse, that wasn't, and I didn't realize the track had the guitar solo on it, so I'm like doubling the guitar solo, so I have to go back and recut the track without the guitar solo. Other than that, first time ever, a lot of firsts tonight. Completely different than anything we've done here before on the Dave Blair show, whatever you would call this. And so let's do something completely different. I don't know. You got any requests? Hey Ken, what's up? Rick Pepper Holmes is watching. Ken is watching again. Ken watched last week too. A fan. Make sure you're number one fan. Watch 2 weeks in a row. Now, check out the. Ken's familiar with this. This is not the one that you worked on, Ken. This is another one that has a little bit better neck, and I'm just selling the other one. Not that you didn't. You did a great job on it, but it's still, that neck was needed some work. But this one, basically, is also an ASAT special. Sounds good. Actually, probably this one even needs a little bit of a neck adjustment. But the neck is in much better shape, and I like these tuners better as well. This is a different model, slightly different model. And this is also a lighter weight, which is a big deal for me because I playing sometimes two, 3, 4 nights in a row. Not anymore, but when we were, the weight of a guitar, like a Les Paul, just killed my shoulder. By the end of the night, I'm in pain, and I need to spend all the money I made on gigs. I have to spend on massage therapy to fix my shoulder. But anyway, what were you talking about? Let us do something. Let us do a song. That was kind of okay. You know what? Let me do another original. Let's do. Some of you might be familiar with "The Sun and the Rain." It's a song. This one's a ballad. It's kind of like harkens to. I mean, it intentionally was kind of a tribute to old classic rock. So people are like, well, everybody has a different song. It sounds like. Some people say it sounds like "Can't You See." Other people say it sounds like "Sympathy for the Devil." Other people sounds like "The Steely Dan" or whatever. The beginning kind of sounds a little Steely Dan-ish because of the percussion, but actually, "Can't You See" is the one that I should do. But I won't do it next to this one because they're too similar, and it's like, dude, you stole that from those guys. Who was that? Off the top of my head, who does "Can't You See"? It's I can't remember off the top of my head, even though I know it. You hate that. There's a way that happens. So this is an original. What's in the Rain? It's about women. Aren't all the songs? Actually, if you think about it, almost all the songs are about women. I need to start writing some songs about like philosophy or something. I don't know. I mean, most songs are about women, unless you're Iron Maiden, then songs are about like Egyptian mythology. Or if you're Megadeth, they're about politics and nuclear war. Anyway, okay, yeah. We did that. We're going to do some "Sun in the Rain," which is kind of the love ballad. I have another ballad. I may do that one too. Uh-oh. Did you hear that? We just lost the wireless. Shoot. What are we going to do? Do I have batteries? If I was smart, I would have had spare batteries down here. I have spare batteries upstairs. You guys hold on. Don't leave. Can you believe that? Give me 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. Fucking motherfucker. Back. You didn't go anywhere. You didn't leave, did you? Okay. Got me some batteries. So, this is intermission. You get to know. I'll talk. Make it not boring. So, shit. This is a triple A. Shit. No. Shit. I get the wrong button. I said triple A, and it says AA4. The 4 looks like an A. So now I gotta go back. I'll be back. I'm having luck today. I'm doing great. some. Found some batteries. Okay. This is what we do when batteries die. We flip some new ones in there. I hope these are good. Green. The thing is, I tested the batteries before, but I guess they were good enough to last for a little while. Okay. Catch my breath, running up the stairs twice. That's wonderful. That's half of the show, right? Okay. Now that I'm nice and out of breath, let's sing a song. How's that? It's always entertaining. So I catch my breath, maybe I'll tune the old tuning the guitar while you catch your breath trick. Anyway, we're having some fun. Each week I'm just tweaking it a little bit, getting a little better, learning the songs a little better. You know, all the originals, it's like the first time we ever did it live with a track. And they're starting to come together, I think. And it's exciting to be able to do them with a live band at some point. Get some breath. Actually, you know what? I did run up down the stairs. I need to start running again. It's kind of hard outside. People running with masks. I don't know what the deal is with that. But let me, while I catch my breath, do something that's a little less vocal intensive. Instrumental. We'll do YYZ. Actually, I looked for a track for YYZ. I couldn't find one. That would have been fun. And LaVilla's trying to get out of by however you pronounce it, by Rush. It's like a 9-minute instrumental that has all these crazy parts if you're not a Rush fan. And I was looking for a track for that, and that would be a super fun one just to do. Since we're in the basement, we're not like getting paid by the club, so we can play whatever the heck we want, right? We do War Pigs next to a funk tune. Hell with it. Let's just pick something that's I could catch my breath a little bit. You know, how about a little bit of LaGrange, because that's like a long guitar solo. People like the ZZ Top. Check there's a recent documentary on ZZ Top on Netflix. That's pretty cool. It's just like the biggest little band or something of that nature. I mean, I'm a big ZZ Top fan. It goes through their history. But all their old stuff is great, as well as their, I mean, the old stuff, like from the first few albums, even before Eliminator. Anyway, okay, well, let's do this. We do this. Yeah, we're gonna do this here. I'm gonna turn the amp on. That's the worst when the song starts and then you start playing and the amp is off. Happens. And we're not doing that one. I think I would be, I don't know if I could play that riff and sing it at the same time, so I need to get one of the girls in the band sing it or something. Alright. Rumors go around in that Texas town about that shack outside LaGrange. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna know. Do that home out on the range. They got like that scout. That's always fun. That's one of my favorite ones to do because you're just kind of jamming out on the Billy Gibbons, and you get to do that how. I mean, how fun is that to sing how? You get to be Billy Gibbons or obviously that's a rip of what's his name? A boom 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 how. John Lee Hooker. If you're not familiar with John Lee Hooker's blues god, So if you're into blues, check out Albert King and Albert Collins and all the Alberts and all the Kings. And pretty much every blues player has either King or Albert in their name in one way or another. And then you got, and a couple other guys. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, and John Lee Hooker. If you watch the Blues Brothers movie, John Lee Hooker is outside busking, doing how in outside I think it's outside the music store. When that movie is so chock full of like legendary people. You got Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin. It's like ridiculous. The people that are in that movie, John Lee Hooker, legends. Just and the movie is funny as hell. It's a classic. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember it was a fun movie. It goes on. Actually, I just recently did one of those list things where people say, movie a day, your favorite movie, and it's like I have so many movies. I put Pink Floyd, The Wall in there, and Crossroads just because of the Steve Vai thing at the end. Crossroads, that blew that blew my mind. Like it's like that. How's that go? It's like How's that go? Wait, something like that. And then I always do it like the Jack Butler version where he messes it up. I did that. I do it on purpose. No, I still can't play it right. Since the movie came out in 80 something. Geez, Steve Vai. He's I've met him. I've seen him play many times, and he's just a mind blower. It's like, dude, I think I'm gonna stick to the blues or rock, funk. Not that there's nothing less or better or worse. I mean, it's just some people like him and Petrucci and they're just playing stuff. I mean, I could play pretty fast. Most of the stuff, these songs, it's not really, they're not ripping tunes, and that's fine. I've found that once in a while I try to throw a Vai or an Yngwie lick in, and it just never kind of works. It just doesn't sound right for me, unless you're doing those kind of songs. But to play like a speed riff in Brown Eyed Girl, it's like it just doesn't, it's
Hey, when
where do we go? There's one. No, I'm not gonna sing that one. That's one that's like no bar band wants. Everybody requested, but nobody wants to do it because it's just so played. What are we gonna do? Okay. Let's let's do something fun. I have no idea. No idea. I had like the first 3 or 4 songs planned out. Got the War Pigs was worrying me all week, and it kind of came together pretty good. I just gotta learn this. I gotta take the solo out of the track and learn it. But that was kind of a winging it kind of thing. And considering it was not winging it, but I learned it, but not perfectly because there's a lot of little stops and parts and changes. And I was kind of relying on the track a little. But I'll listen to it. I'll watch it back later. Okay. What are we doing? What was I doing? And I'm not in the mood to do the ballads right now. Nobody's asking for it. So let's do this guy. When I hear the train a coming, it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. When I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, I'll keep dragging on. Oh, that train keeps on rolling all down the side I down. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. When I shot him at Reno just to watch him die. Well, the whistle keep on blowing, I hear my head and cry. Dining car, probably drinking coffee, smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. Well, that whistle keeps on blowing, and that's what tortures me. That chord at the end. It's like a minor. I mean, not a minor. It's like a dominant 13. Like a 9 in there, and then just a fun. Every song should end on that chord. It's like every song ever written should just end on them dominant 13 chord. It's just, you know, it could be like. Dominant 13. Works on every song. Anyway, what are we doing? What time is it? I have no idea. What's today? What day is it? 10:40. When did we start? We started at 9:30, but we had some technical glitches, so we're going for an hour. So maybe we're doing like another song or two, or none, or 5. I don't know. Go for a muffin right about now. That's random, right? That's random. Check out if you're on my a couple of things, a couple of announcements. Make it all official. If you look right here, is it here on the screen or is it backwards? Wait a minute. No, it's this side. It's this side. Because the screen is flipped or something. So this side, if you look here, this screen thing, it says Dave Free Song, this URL, Dave Free Song / Dave Free Song, something like that. I can't see it from here. If you go there, sign for mailing list. There's not a lot of spam. You get some free songs. You get to hear Red Flags, and I think there's a Sun in the Rain, and I think Blameless, which we have not done live. It's a really cool song. It's one of my favorite on that album because it starts with just like a pretty. You think it's like a George Michael type of tune, not really, but look, it's got some. It's like a rockish George Michael tune. But then it gets to the chorus, which is like a power. I wanted to go completely have a song that went like completely from really soft and pretty to angry and back and forth. Kind of like old Beethoven. Beethoven would go from something that was like this pretty thing to some crazy thing to some angry thing to some, and I loved that. I thought that was so cool, that juxtaposition. So I wanted to do a song like that. So I got and that song starts out really pretty, and then it gets into a power chorus, and it comes pretty again, and it goes perfectly with the lyrics. Lyrics are about dealing with stuff. Just stuff. It's we're not going to do. Maybe I'll have it next week or by the week after. I'll have it tweaked. Good enough to do it live. Because I don't know if I ever did it live. But Blameless is basically it's give you little storytellers. It's basically about. It's kind of more vague. It's not about a specific situation, but it's basically stuff happened that kind of knock you off kilter in life. And it's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna overanalyze it and try to think about it, overthink what happened, why, blah blah. I just want to just move on. I want to get past that, and I don't need to be blameless. I don't need to reframe this. I don't need to do nothing but move on. In other words, don't overanalyze it. I don't need to figure out whose fault it was or all that garbage. Just at this point, just move the F on and just go forward, because you spent too much time and effort dealing with this BS. That's kind of what that song is about. So it's right now you want to hear it because it's cool, right? But yeah, it is a cool song. It's got a cool break in the middle, which was inspired to me by Rush. There's a cool break in the middle that has like a fade in kind of like. Which is, if you know Rush, he does that a lot. Sometimes he'll do like a. Actually, it's better. Distortion. And the guitar work, that was Eddie Klinger on guitar. He did some really cool fills in there. And then after on the record, I kind of played guitar parts to match his fills. He's like, and I went, on the guitar, and it, I love doing stuff like that because it sounds like it was written. We did this fancy coordinated thing, and it's just like I just played along to what he did. But I love records like that where there's a cool drum fill in the guitar and it matches it, or vice versa. Anyway, what the heck was I talking about? I don't know. We this is like storytellers here, So sign up for that mailing list, and also we're doing this every 9:30 every Saturday pretty much. We may change the time, but for now, when we start gigging again, we'll have to do this on a Sunday because I'll probably have a gig on a Saturday. And then there's I'm doing like a weekly just talk music show, which people have been joining and just asking questions about music and guitar and gear and just what's your favorite band or whatever song. And we're just talking about music, telling funny stories. This week, somebody asked about The Who, and then I remembered the time I met John Entwistle, so I had my John Entwistle story. So people just throw in things, and I tell interesting stories or comments or stuff about songwriting or technique or how to do this or that. Guitar players come and ask questions, whatever. Fun stuff, and people seem to enjoy to hear me talking. Go figure, right? No, I'm actually kind of smart, man about town. No, I know a lot. I've been around and I know a lot. I've seen a lot of things and done stuff in music, so I have some interesting stories and a lot of advice about songwriting and gigging and gear and production and all that usually, people are into that, listening to, apparently. So let's do a finale song, because I'm tired. We had a lot of technical difficulties today, but we got through it. We survived. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. You're thinking but now you're back from outer space. Maybe I should learn that. There is a cake version of "I Will Survive" that's really cool. It's kind of got a completely different groove. You know, Gloria Gaynor is from Jersey, and actually I've known several people, at least 3 different people, maybe more, that have played in her band, because she's from Jersey, and Gary, who was actually on the Red Flags videos, playing with her now, and is on, I've seen him on TV play with her on the gospel stuff, and I've known a couple other people that played with her as well. But the cake version, maybe I will do that at some point, because that will be fun. It's just a fun song. And one thing that I used to do, goof around with, when I've done that "I Will Survive" with other bands, the chord progression is not quite exactly the same, but very similar, believe it or not, to Mr. Crowley of Ozzy. The chord progression is very similar. It's kind of like a circle of fourths type of thing. But so I would do start the Mr. Crowley solo over "I Will Survive," and I don't know if anybody ever picked up on it. Just a couple of little licks. I mean, it's a great solo, man. It really is melodic, and I think he throws some diminished stuff in there. Randy Rhoads, man, was the man. That's such a shame. But, like, don't pilot a plane if you don't know, if you're not an experienced pilot. Like, you know. Anyway, advice, we give advice. You know what we're gonna end off on? We did this last week, and we might as well do it. We'll do some Cars. We'll end off with some Cars. The Cars, here in my car. Not that. No, we're not doing that one. That's a cool song, though. Randy Newman. Is it Randy Newman? Or Gary Newman? Is it Gary? It's Gary Newman. Not Gary. Randy Newman is like "I Live LA" and all those tunes, all those LA type tunes. Anyway, what are we doing? Okay. See if we, yeah. Let's see, I'm see if I remember it, because I haven't practiced since last week, and last week I was a little shaky to start with. You know, let's not F off. And this is horrible. If this is totally a train wreck, then maybe I'll do another one too. I'm going to redeem myself, but we're going to end off on this ostensibly. I don't want you coming here and wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing on so near, I kinda lose a song where at the end where he goes on the keyboard and he does that with the vibrato. That was not a train wreck. Not perfect. Voice is a little scraggly right now, maybe under from all the dust anyway, but no excuses. No excuses. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes I listen something to feel funny, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh, that sounded good, you know. Usually it doesn't go the other way around. If it feels good, it usually sounds good. If it feels funny, sometimes it sounds funny, and sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes you overreact to the feel. If something's feels like it's in your throat and while you're singing, it feels like you're struggling. And sometimes it sounds like, let's end off with just one more thing. We need no education. We don't need no rock and roll. Toxicalism in the classroom. Teachers leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, just another brick in the wall. All we are is just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No toxicalism in the classroom. With the English accent. Each has to leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. Oh no, just another brick in the wall. All we are is just another brick in the wall. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. I was having rice pudding last week. And Karina from Lip Service made me, and her mom made me some rice pudding, which was very nice of them. And they have to portion it out to me because at one point they gave me a big thing, and like the next day it was gone. It was like a pound of rice pudding. It's probably not a good thing, but it's there. It's like there in front of you, and you can't leave the house. And they, you just eat the rice pudding. That's why, that's why this is here. But I'm gonna start running again, and that's gonna help everything. You can't have any rice pudding if you don't eat your meat. Anyway, speaking of. Karina from the service, we've been talking, and she's gonna probably come down. She's supposed to come down tonight, and we almost I don't know, I'm rushing around the day of, and she'll probably just we'll coordinate something. We'll actually make it official, and we'll put a set list together, and she's gonna sing some chick songs and try to do something a little different. Maybe do the lip service songs for you fans of lip service, and then we'll also maybe throw in something completely different. Like I don't know, so there's songs that we've talked about doing for years and never got around to doing. Maybe we'll throw some of those and use this kind of as a testing ground. You people will be guinea pigs. I always wanted to do Hunt for Teacher, and I could never. I've done it with bands where the drummer would sing it. It's been a while, and I have to relearn little parts. But that will be fun to do, and we can get maybe Karina to sing. Anyway, let's see. Any more comments from the Peanut Gallery? Thanks, Bob. Bob said, So, it's weird. Every time I do a cast and it ends, somebody messages me 5 minutes later, say, "Hey, you just finished? I just joined." But I can't play forever. And Bob's like, "Yeehaw!" on the Johnny Cash song. But I think that's enough. I don't hear anybody chanting one more song. And it's been we started 9:30. What the heck time is it? 10:15. See, if I was at a gig, if I was at a club and I played this long, I'd be like, dude, you got to pay me overtime. It's an hour and a half set, dude. Although actually, odd times we play an hour set. I played with one band, Frankie Kerr and the Evergreens, up in the Catskills, and we played two sets. But the first set was 90% of the night. We played from 9 to 1. I mean, straight, no break, no bathroom, no. My shoulder was hurting, but it was a Irish band. We played rock and roll. We did some Beatles and Elvis and old time rock and roll and some stuff. But for the most part, we did a lot of Irish tunes. I was the person. My job in that band was the person to sing the rock tunes because they were older guys in their 60s that played Irish and accordion music. So they didn't really have they didn't really sing rock stuff. That was music I was there. But but I also had to back up everything on the guitar. But those sets were long. My shoulder would be hurting by the end of the night because it was close to a 4-hour set some nights. And then we take a break, and then we come back and close off the night with a 30-minute ending of the night. But by then the place was almost empty. So, but the reason they did that is because they wanted to keep people dancing, keep people there, which is I get, but those are fun gigs though. Those are fun because you go to the Catskills. They give you a hotel room overnight, and you can do 2 gigs, so you get paid for both gigs. They get you breakfast, they give you lunch. So those are kind of sweet gigs when you do stuff like that. And we did some Irish festivals where we did an afternoon and a night show, or 2 afternoon shows at the festival, then a night show at the club, and then you get breakfast in the morning. And some of those places have sweet, pancakes, and so some of those gigs are pretty fun. Of course, they don't give you the best room. They give you. I always got the room over the kitchen. But that's all right, But at the end of the night, it was kind of cool because, some people in the band would kind of hang out in the kitchen, which they would be like, "Hey, you guys want any donuts? Do you want any coffee? Blah blah blah." So food. Then when you do the gigs at the casinos, those are far, and we don't do them that much anymore because it's just so far for not much more money. Plus, the casinos are kind of not doing as well as they used to. Well, not especially these days, but in general, they knock the Sams down. But one thing that is cool about the best thing at the casino gigs is most casinos on the basement level, they have usually a beautiful buffet for all the employees. It's like a little city down there. Gotten lost in the basement of Bally's and all these casinos many times. At the band we would go, and at 3 morning, there's those sets are late. 3 in the morning we go and we get crazy buffet stuff. You know, I mean like pancakes with a ham sandwich and rice pudding and some ice cream and Cheerios. You know, with sprinkles. I mean, just because it's a buffet and you have everything, and it's like, ah. But and at 3 in the morning, and you got to drive home for 2 hours. It's like hell with it. We're gonna have some fun. Those are fun times. And another maybe on like talk show during the week, I'll tell the story about the sneeze. If anybody remembers this and is on the show, just asked about the sneeze story at the casino, and it's kind of funny. Anyway. Yeah, that was good. An hour and a half set, fun. A couple of good new things. We did some Black Sabbath. I think Andrew, who requested it, wasn't. Maybe he was, but he'll watch it and he'll feel that he missed out. But he'll get to see it later, and then maybe I'll do it next week once I actually learn the song. Actually, it was bad. The first 2/3 are pretty good. I got the first and second verse. Just the third verse, I don't know. So I screwed up the words a little bit, and of course I screwed up the guitar part because I learned the words first and the guitar part. Whatever. It was fun. We had some fun. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. Again, it's on this side. The thing that says Dave Blair. You get a free song. I'll get on the mailing list, and I'll just let you know when I'm doing cool stuff. I only send out one thing a month, maybe two, on the mailing list if I do a blog article. So it's definitely not spam. And it's usually some fun, interesting articles about music. So if you're into that, you probably would enjoy it. And also you get some free tunes and blah blah blah. And then there's this over here somewhere on the screen is this my website if you want to check that out. It's got links to the Twitter and the Twitch and the blah 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 blah, all those other platforms and all that fun stuff, and pictures and some videos and whatever the heck, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go get a snack or something, and then next week we'll probably have Karina come down and sing some stuff with me. And during the week I'll put an event out on the Dave Blair Facebook talking about I do a little weekly talk show. We were just talking about music for a couple hours, and whoever wants to chime in, if you're an experienced musician, all the better, because then we could talk, trade stories back and forth. I could even do a Skype if you want to join and actually come and join on screen with me and talk. We could tell gig stories if you're a musician that I've played with, or just a musician that I know. Just ask questions, whatever. We're just having fun. It's very laid back, very just like whatever, no script, no nothing. We just talk music. I mean, it's fun. It's like hanging out, just talking about music. And we get people joining from, all over the world. It's actually, sometimes I have had people come from France and Ireland and wherever else to join things, which is always fun. Anyway, technology, right? Anyway, somebody's... I got one more song. Okay, Andrew. Now that you... Were you on? Did you get to hear the Black Sabbath song that you requested? Because I did that just for you, So Andrew is saying one more song. Well, what song? And it's not going to be Black Sabbath song because I did it already. I already screwed that one up. One more song. Like, what song would that be? If I were to do a song, see, that's why I should have a tip jar. Oh, right. I get emojis popping up, so I guess they want to hear one more song. That's the equivalent of the audience, the drunk audience at 2 a.m. be like, one more song, free bird. Anyway, I don't know if I'm in a free bird kind of mood, but okay. The crowd, the people have spoken, right? We'll do something. I don't know what. I can't promise it's gonna be cool or good or nothing, but let me pick something that might be cool. Okay. This might be an interesting thing. If I can pull up the lyrics of this one. I was gonna do The Bad Company, but for some reason I don't have the track, so I gotta write a mental note to myself to put the track in the computer. What they call this thing? What's the Van Halen. I could play the Van Halen, but I can't sing it and play it at the same time. It's just the rhythm patterns are too complicated for any of their good songs. And I'm not gonna do "You Really Got Me" because that's like the one. I love Van Halen. I have every album, at least every David Lee Roth album, and grew up on all that stuff. And it was as much as I love like all their stuff, every song, the obscure songs or less hit songs, like dirty movies, or I mean, do stuff. Some of my favorite stuff. But as much as I love those songs, the cover tunes, man, you know, you know, dancing in the street, you really got me. It's, I just can't, you know, they're overplayed, and it's not an original Van Halen song, so it doesn't have that kind of. I mean, he does his best with it because he kind of puts the Van Halen solo on it and everything, but that's not. I'd rather hear Sinner Swing or Mean Streets or you know, Van Halen, man. Anyway, we're gonna do this. Okay. You guys are making me work. I'm not even getting paid for this shit. I should put a tip jar, right? Everybody else is doing a tip jar. I'm just kind of, you know, at this point, I'm just gonna do it because people wanna, you know, keep people engaged and with the music. So that when we are playing it again, they were like, yeah, we really enjoy seeing Dave sing, so we'll go see him when we're not on lockdown. So, okay, we want to do this one. Okay, yeah, then we're gonna do some. We mentioned if I can remember the name of this band. This is shit. It's gonna be bothering me. Can't you see? I know it's who does Can't You See? I know this. It's like in my brain. I know this. It's by Fudge. Marshall Tucker. I knew it. Now I can sleep tonight. Anyway, we're gonna try this. It's a good song to end off. Take a freight train down to the station. I don't care where it goes. I'm gonna climb a mountain, highest mountain low. Jump off, nobody gonna know. Oh, can't you see? Oh, can you see what that woman knows? You've been doing to me. Can you see? you see what that woman Lord she been doing to me? Can you see? Can you see what that woman Lord she been doing to me? Thank you. Good night, Cleveland. That ending riff is like okay, something like that. I wasn't planning on knowing that song, so I didn't practice it. But actually, it was kind of fun. That's a fun song. That's another song that's just a fun song. So, you happy, Andrew? I gave you another song. Next time, join a little bit earlier, and you could hear the Black Sabbath song. Unless, maybe you were here the whole time. I don't know. I didn't see any comments. So, but anyway, Kiss. Yes, I'm not. You know what? I know. Yell at me, but I'm not a big Kiss fan. I was a Kiss fan when I was a kid because it was cool with the makeup when I was like 7, 8. But musically, once I started getting into playing guitar, it was like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, a little bit later on Van Halen, Black Sabbath. You know, I don't know. They just seem to have more musical depth to me than Kiss. You know, well, we do some Kiss songs. I think Rock and Roll All Night I've sung it and played it. Not particularly fond of ever singing that song again, along with Old Time Rock and Roll. There's a few songs it's like if I never sing it again for the rest of my life, I'm fine with that. Brown Eyed Girl, but I guarantee they will be. I will, you know. But anyway, I'm burnt. That's a almost an hour and 45 minutes set. Not bad. Hey, I'm working hard for my not getting money. Maybe I'll put a tip jar, right? You know, but I'm not that desperate yet right now. I just wanted to share the love of music with the world at this point. But just make sure that when we are playing out again, come to gigs and support the band, all the bands. I know some musicians that are really hurting. I'm alright because I have businesses and stuff. But anyway, join my show during the week. That's just music chat, and I'll be here again 9:30. And Karina from Lip Service will probably come down as well. Thank you for all. Good night, Cleveland. All right. Let me know if you. I tweaked the camera, so I tweaked. I changed the color picture profile in the camera and tweaked some other things. So I think the colors should be a little more vibrant and less, and better. It's still the resolution isn't great because I don't have a capture card, because capture cards are like triple the price right now because everybody's trying to buy webcams and capture cards. But I think the color is pretty cool. Got the pretty lights. See? I'm not clapping. I'm just it sound activated the lights. So fun. Thank you. I see emojis popping up. Thank you. Good night. We love you. Yeah. Ship the the damn thing off. I got blisters on my fingers. Stop streaming.